Well, there you are again, Charlie Greer podcast. I do this every day. Today, so mysterious tales. Isn't that what life is all about? Before we do, please like, share, and subscribe if you want to support the channel, which you do. The information is in the description for Cash App and for Zelle. So let's do this. Okay, mysterious tales. Life is full of mysterious tales. A lot of unsolved crimes, true crime, if you will. Most crimes could be solved if it weren't for like the laziness and the incompetence of police. Police are just uh, not all law enforcement, but law enforcement has been infiltrated, if you will, by nepotism, favoritism, cronyism. I mean, it's not even a conspiracy. It's just people are dumb and lazy. Okay, idiots. Not all. I'm pro law enforcement. Don't get me wrong. We need cops. Even the dumb ones. Because they can't be dumb all the time, right? Well, I mean, kind of. But so, mysterious. Okay, we're talking about like incompetence and like law enforcement. Let's talk about the Zodiac killer. All right, this happened back in the 60s, 70s. The dude was multiple witnesses writing letters. They had a palm print. He called this, that, and he was calling police, all this stuff, and they couldn't find his sorry ass. Why? Why would they not? Some people claimed it was a psyops, like it was literally and I kind of believe that certain things are done by certain organizations to, you know, even to test their. Again, people are crazy. A lot of smart people are psychopaths. Psychopaths are real smart and gunning. Gotta be careful. Um, so the incompetence, like saying the Zodiac killer. Again, he wrote letters. He sent in pieces of bloody shirts. That it's mind-boggling how they didn't have a clue who it was. How many witnesses you got? And victims that lived in. Nope, don't know. Just darn. But like one of his last, I guess, killings. They said he could have did more, but was this guy named Paul Stein, like a cab driver. He waved down a cab, told him to go to a certain address. When the guy pulled over, the cab driver, bam, the Zodiac killer shot him in the head, moseyed about and cut off some of his shirt, wiped down the cab. Now, this is after witnesses had called and seen it. These kids were up in the window, saw it. Well, I guess the cops are gonna, we'll get there when we do, When the cop got there, one of the witnesses, this kid, was like, there he is. He's still in. You could see him walk. The cop's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's get some information here. By the time they realized, like, wait a minute, you're saying he was walking. They just idiots. Like, don't tell me what to do. It's like he's right there. I'll do my own. That's what we're dealing with. This has been the world. This is the world. This isn't like modern. This is what people. This is psychology. People's personalities. Dipshits. So that same time, the kid's like, he's right there. We can still see him. He's go, go, go. No. They got to do their, Barney Fife kind of shit. And so he turns the corner. Another idiot working at the police station says the wrong stuff over the radio. Instead of like a Caucasian male, 6 foot, she says, African American man, or whoever it was. Mistakes, like stupid, mouth breathing fools. Okay. But the cops saw this guy walk. He's the only one out in the street at night. Pull up to him. Hey, are you the killer? No. Didn't check him out. It just drove on by. 2 or 3 days later, they get another letter. The Zodiac killer was writing letters to newspapers and all kinds of people. And said, ha, 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 you could have had me. That's what I'm talking about. I follow the Delphi murder, and that's the same kind of shit that's going on. These people are just no good nicks, man. I'm talking about the investigators and stuff. They will cover for each other. They're in little groups, this, that, and the other thing. Nepotism, cronyism. And if there is something that's like kind of on, like people, they won't look into it. It's mind-boggling. I mean, in rape cases, they interview women like, "I've been raped, but yeah, see, they want to take a lie detector test, this, that, and the other." Don't believe them. That's the kind of idiocy we're kind of dealing with. So there's these mysterious tales that wouldn't be so mysterious if people were like literally do their jobs and not be thinking about, okay, everybody's had jobs. People show up at work, don't work, complain about their lives, complain about wanting to work, this, that, and the other. Well, that's in every industry, man. There's rocket scientists that do that. It's not just people think, oh, you're smart. No, that's human behavior. People are lazy. Some of the ancient books is like that's what equates to evil. People being lazy. Certain ancient books also say if there's the void of humor, that's where evil resides. Like that's where it lives. So if you're around people that don't understand jokes or just don't, oh no, then they get angry because they don't understand it. Supposedly back in ancient times, that was evil, which I believe so. It's going on right now today. But yeah, the Zodiac killer, they couldn't. What do you want him to do? Like, just walk in and say, "Here I am." They're like, "Oh no, we don't believe you." I mean, here's more of the bloody shirt I cut. Well, we gotta. Can you imagine that kid? How scared he'd be? Like, he's right there. We can still see him right there. The cop's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Hold on now, kid. Who's the one that called it?" Asking all these stupid questions instead of like getting back in the car and going get the guy. And I think that's why the dude knew he could get away with it. They said he was slumbering, like walking really slow, like don't bring attention to yourself. He knows how these people, the psychology of, he would say it in his letters. He wrote ciphers and stuff. It's today we have all this technology with the Delphi. They got the dude's voice. They got him on video. Oh, it's been how many years? February would be like 6 years. Of course, they arrested someone, but I mean, you never know. I mean, uh, you know, I have a feeling like there's a fall guy aspect to this. I can't prove it. It's just my humble opinion. And then there's trippy, mysterious tales like John Titor. He claimed to be a time traveler. I don't know if you guys know about this, but in like 2000, like late 90s, early 2000s, he called into the what radio show did he call into? Anyway, um, he would call this radio show. Hey, I'm a time traveler. People are like, oh yeah, right, you're a time traveler. And he would like, well, we'll prove it. They're like, well, so he would send like again the pictures of his time machine apparatus, like this thing. It looked kind of, looked like something I could put together over a weekend. It didn't really get detailed. Just showed a picture of this black, long gated kind of thing, boxy looking thing. He claimed he was like from the year, like in the future, and he was a part of a military operation, and they were coming back to retrieve a IBM computer from the 70s that could do something that people didn't know it could do. Only a certain few did this, that, and the other. Or it turns out that a lot of stuff he talked about, he was right. Art Bell, he called into Art Bell show. Okay, so it was right that this IBM computer could, and he said he was calling to, or came back in time to save us from certain things, and he needed this computer. Come to find out that computer was what he said. At the time, people didn't know, except a few of the developers that made this computer, that it was like connected to a database. People didn't know, and this, that, and the other. The trippy things though is he said some strange stuff about like New York. This is before the Twin Towers fell. He said that they would. He kind of spoke. He said he couldn't say too much because he didn't want to change the timeline. Like he was saying, like if I do certain things, it'll change the timeline. So I got to be careful. We talked about the skyline of New York would change. He was off by a few. He said it would happen in certain years, but he was off. But like some of the stuff he talked about, we're dealing with right now. The trippiest thing about what he said was entertainment in the future, which is now. Would be that people would be doing their own, TV would kind of die out. People would be doing their own entertainment on computers, and the new like TV shows, this and another, would be like independent people, and they're having, well, that's YouTube. That's people having their own, websites and this, that, and the other. He was kind of right on about that. So, mysterious tale, John Titor. Did anybody try to figure out who he was? Did anybody try to? Now, granted, I'm not pointing a finger at anybody because I couldn't go out, or would I want to try to find this fool. But it's strange. They should have they could have traced calls. They could have figured out. You know what I mean? They could have done something. Now, granted, cops don't want to they're lazy, and two, there's certain things they can't do. There's but there's deep divers out there. Again, I'm not trying to point because I couldn't do it myself. I mean, I'm not trying to. But couldn't somebody have done something? You know what I mean? If that's what you do, all right. Some people are this. I'm a painter, artist, kind of ranter, if you will. And this John Titor sounds like bullshit. Like when I first heard about it, I listened to it on Art Bell. I thought, man, this guy? Then the more time goes on, it's like he's right on the money on some stuff. He said we'd have a civil war over a certain presidential candidate, which kind of happened the last 5-6 years. But the stuff he said about entertainment, dead on. About people literally having shows in their room, like I'm doing. Granted, my mind's not that popular, but shit, that would be the new entertainment, independent entertainment from home. And then when I heard that, I was like, "What the fuck? Who the huh?" There's YouTubers that get more views than CNN. He was dead on about certain stuff like that, and some of these YouTubers, especially in the true crime, I actually have gotten away from true crime. If you notice, I'm not doing as much, even on the Delphi, this, that, and the other, because I can't take the misery coattail riders, which are some of these true crimers, especially in the Delphi case. They just parrot what they hear on the news, what other people do. And some of these guys are the biggest. There aren't people that I still like, but most of the biggest, they just change the image on their video they do every day, talk about the same fucking shit. They don't do any investigating. Most of them have some kind of weird name, hide their identity and stuff. Well, what the fuck is that? Under the guise of cowardice. Well, I don't want people to know. Come on, man. And some of these, at the same time, acting like they're a tough guy. What world did they live in? And of course, the mouth breathing public, they eat it up. They sop it up, man. The mysterious tale and what I'm talking about now is these people will be exposed. These people will be, I guarantee, first you'll start with parody sites. You're going to take their content, and people are finding out about this shit, and they're going to parody them, expose them, if you will. That's coming. And how do I know? Because I'm not a fucking psychic or anything, but I can look through. I have foresight, and I look at stuff in a linear, not this non-linear kind of weirdo. Well, if you start doing this, you had certain behavior, this, that, and the other. The next thing to do is people parodying you. Parody sites that go after you, especially if you piss people off. That's a thing. That's happening. That happens to a lot of these. People want to expose motherfuckers that are fake. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the mysterious tale, is that they're going to be exposed. It's coming. Probably already starting. It's going to be. It's going to be. See, human nature, psychology, when you try not to do something like use a fake name, hide your identity, this, that, and the other, it's human nature to want to expose that. Kids want to do that. Old people want to do, and also you're kind of rubbing your nose like nanny boo, but well, guess what the next step is? Again, I'm not everybody should know this. That's why I'm open about everything I do. I'm not you're almost subconsciously they want that to happen. I know they can't wrap their head around that. Some of these people are criminals that are doing probably not the crimes that they're talking about, but they're damn near close. And there's stuff in their life that's going to be exposed. See, that's what these people do. They claim they can hide in plain sight, this, that, and the other, and they gloat. They know inside they can get away with this like kind of weirdo perv shit they do. Well, everybody's going to know. Everybody's about to know. Again, how do I know this? What does history tell us? There's a history of YouTube too. You can't be going around. You know, people that do it right, like say a Joe Rogan, who I don't agree with him on like 100% of what he does, but he does it right. He knows that he can't do certain because the people expose you. That's the next step. That's what happens. Actually, it's not even a mysterious tale. It's a truthful tale. That shit's coming. And subconsciously, these people don't know. And it's not just true crime. It's everywhere in sports, in comedy. I'm talking about YouTube channels. Sport, YouTube channel, comedy. They expose these people. If they're thieves, well, they're going to get caught there. That's just like petty theft. That's what's happening. That's about what's about to pop off. And there are like mysterious tales of like people have been set up, and I do to fall for these crimes, and they just change their modus operandi and to keep on doing it. I think there are psyops, even in smaller crimes. There's psyops, like in the Delphi case. The girls had only been missing like 5, 6, 7 hours. Man, the FBI was already there. Oh, we were around the corner. We're looking at, huh? You think people can swallow that? You know? And then, dang, we don't know. Like, you mean to tell me there's like 200 really, they claim are trained and they had all these, NCIS vans and shit like that in this small little town. I mean, they could have talked to everybody in town, interrogated, what is 3,000 people in town? But as much time as went by, they could have already. So some of these mysterious tales are wrapped within another crime. See, there's crimes within crimes. Back when I was living in LA in the early 2000s, I met the last remaining fucking Manson family people, and they were hippies, man. They just lived on the ranch with Charlie or whatever. And I ran a smoke shop, a head shop, and I used to buy the owner of it had been buying. We bought our bamboo pipes and our tie-dye hemp ropes and all this crazy hippie shit from the family. That's how they made a living. They talked about how the Manson murder was a crime within a crime. Now, they didn't exactly tell it to me. It wasn't like they came like, oh yeah, see Charlie. No, they were smelly, patchouli motherfuckers, and they would lay out a blanket in the store, and I'd be like, look, no, go to the office. I'll give you a little private, because it took them forever to. And I was the buyer. I was like, just pull out a few. No, you got to see this and that. And they'd have everything wrapped in newspaper, and it took them forever. And they're smoking weed. And just go in the office, take your time, because I know you're gonna. Like once a month they'd come. So I had the door like kind of open so I could see what they were doing, so they wouldn't rob us. And a few times when I came in, they would be talking about the Manson murders. They didn't tell it to me. I overheard this shit. And one of the things that blew my mind was they talked about a crime within a crime. Like something happened. They didn't say, but then literally like Charlie Manson was summoned there to be the fall guy. And they said it had to do with something with the landlord or some shit, his lover. I don't, this is what I heard from them. And then they would shut up when I walked in. Now, well, they're talking, there's books out now that's talking exactly, this was 20 years ago, talking about the exact same thing. Some people say it was a psyop, like a crime within a crime to cover up certain other shit. See, it's a strange, mysterious world we live in. People are lazy. It doesn't matter whatever. People are just, again, I get it. People have lives. You get wrapped up in your own fears, insecurities, regrets, this, that, and the other. But you still got to peacock around like you're somebody, see, because you're a narcissist. A lot of narcissism. That's a problem. Well, you're not smart enough to be some kind of like a diabolical criminal. So you have to lie. And other people are so insecure what they believe in their life, they'll just follow the fool. Well, yeah, most people don't speak up. Most people won't even tell you what they really like. Ask people, test them. What's your fit? They'll go along with their friend. They don't even know themselves. There's people in the public eye that are criminal killers. Well, that's the rap world. They don't even hide it. That's a prerequisite to get like a major label rap record contract, whatever, urban, whatever the fuck they call it nowadays. They brag about killing. This is on a corporate level. They are supported by a corporate or a huge corporation. That, huh? That's the world we live in. Murderers, hitmen, drive-by motherfuckers. George Barris. Look into not George Barris, but the George Barris is the guy that did the Batmobile and the Monsters car. He was the host of the Gong Show. And anywho's it? He wrote a book, and he talked about while he was doing the Gong Show, it was a cover because he was a CIA hitman. He had like 40 fucking hits, and we're talking about like high profile international, And they made a movie, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. It's true. People are like, oh no, it's bullshit. No. It's a fact. And quite honestly, it's kind of diabolical because the Gong Show. I remember watching the Gong Show. It was just mindless entertainment, and he fit the psychological profile. And they like to use little dudes like that don't look threatening, and then they'll train you. They'll make you they'll teach you Krav Maga and how to use a knife and a gun and a rope and this, that, and the other thing. A lot of training, if you want to. And then people around him, other people that were on the Gong Show, stuff like that, were like, dude, it was dead on. He was this, that, and the other. There's more of that. There's a lot more. There's rumblings that Bono, the singer of YouTube's like a high-level hitman. I don't know. Again, it's not even my humble opinion. I'm just using assumption, or I'm actually parroting what I've heard. But I wouldn't doubt it. That's the entertainment industry is a psyop. It is to keep us spoon-fed with lies. They're literally spoon-feeding us like a child. We got our little bib on, and a lot of these mysterious tales are true. They could basically, with all the shit they have with the satellites and the tracking and this, that, and the other, they could solve everything. But they don't, because again, there's so many levels to, and there's so many other things that could, again, I think a lot of this stuff, even YouTubers, it's a side. I guarantee you there's YouTubers that are popular or that are, some of them don't know they're being handled. Some of them do. That's what they do to everything. They weaponize it. They make it like a holding people down. It frustrates me that I see people that, I know every generation does the same fucking stupid mistakes, but it frustrates me that people aren't awake to this. And they say, oh, they'll admit it. Like they always admit certain things. Oh yeah. Like, what was it? A few weeks ago, Biden was supposed to release all the JFK stuff. Trump was too. And then he had a meeting with the CIA and he had to change his mind. But they've released a lot of stuff. They've released, and again, but it's not on the news or anything. They've admitted now that Lee Harvey Oswald, the lone assassin, if you will, he was in the CIA. He had, a month before the assassination, admitted he had done another operation, like a covert operation. It had nothing to do with the JFK assassination, of course, they said. They admitted a few years ago that UFOs were real, aliens were real. You don't hear any of that. We're bogged down with all this political, Ukrainian shit. Dear Lord. I guess it's going to get to the point where this all has to crash. It all has to, it's sad. I wish I could grab people by the shoulders and shake them, but, well, I'd be in jail. Like petty shit like that, of course they're going to get you. I've had when I was commenters on my YouTube, when I did some Delphi videos, these people commented. They live in Delphi and they're right on the money. They're like, all they're interested in is petty crime. They go around giving parking tickets and ticketing people because their lawn's too high or this, that, and the other, drugs, this, that, and that. But as far as like murders, well, hell, they in that county, there's like how many kids were killed in that same year? Like the Flora fires, there's 4 girls. The Delphi, there's 2. There's 6 unsolved. Huh? And the FBI is right there without. And then the FBI guy that was like ahead of that, he's not on the FBI. He's not with the FBI anymore. He got pinched for some nefarious shit. That's what they do, people. They insert these people. So every organization you could think of, it is watered down to fail. The pilot lights out on all of it. It's a shame. And then the YouTube algorithm is written and designed to promote people with passive aggressive behaviors, cowardice behaviors, milk toast. That's designed. It ain't a person. Somebody wrote this algorithm, a group, a think tank, whatever, because they're thinking along. They're the same kind of mind. So it's going to reward these same dumbasses. If you think that the best is going to defend you or entertain you or whatever it is, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. And I'm not saying that I'm the best. I'm not, again, I want to be inspired. I want to see things that are going to inspire me to make me be better in this. Well, these people are probably laying in bed depressed in like the fetal position because they're true artists that can't even get, You do something true and genuine, people are coming at you. You do something half-assed and dumb, well, hell, you'll be monetized in a week. And certain people, they got the Napoleon complex. They got funny beards. That's the same thing that's went through history. Overweight, out of shape, a lot of facial hair, short. Well, that's ancient shit. It doesn't matter what it is. Here they come. Down low motherfuckers. Look, I have LGBT family and friends. I could give a fuck. All right. But there's a difference. And even the LGBT community knows it. They're going after them. They're using them as a weapon. And they know. And then they're trying to get those different LGBT groups just to, go after. So when I said mysterious tales, yeah, I started with a little bit of crime, but then it leads into, this is what we're dealing with. Like everywhere you live, it doesn't matter if you're in a small town, big town, this, that, and the other, it is happening on a major scale. They're painting in broad strokes, bro. They are, it's gotten bad. Maybe John Tudor was right, the alleged time traveler. He was warning us. And if you're not familiar with it, check it out. If you're not familiar with the Zodiac, check it out. If you're not familiar with Delphi, check that out. If you do something petty, they're on you. And if you do something, it seems like the worst crime that they don't want to get. I don't even know. Honestly, some of the stuff how people react, I can't wrap my head around it. Besides it being some kind of other nefarious shit, like a psyop or something like that. Or why would they let this go on and on and on and on? People, to control people, you just have to keep them scared, and to promote certain. I would bet money that they've done. There's probably an operation something or other through some kind of government organization that literally like trains serial killers. And then certain organizations, well, you got to get your hands dirty to join. That's a thing. Again, that's an ancient too. But if you think that the cops and the FBI have your best interests, no. Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I mean, I can kind of understand why my YouTube channel is not popular because I'm just kicking the reel. I'm just like shooting the truth. I mean, not shooting the truth, but that's what I do. My truth, what I interpret, because it's all an interpretation of what you know. And I get it. People don't want to think about it. They want, light, fluffy dumbasses to parrot the same shit over and over. That's why I can't even watch Delphi videos anymore. And my followers, I've chatted with the same thing. It's just every day the same old shit with a different image on their video. Misery coattail riders, man. They're making money off the murder of kids. Now, I don't care how you slice it or whatever. That's what they are. That's why my podcast is not a true crime podcast. Because I ain't going down that road, man. The integrity, little integrity I have, I don't want to shit. My self-worth, though, that's the thing. People don't have any self-worth. They live in this abstract, non-linear kind of every day they got to get up and do the same mistakes. They only relate to other fuckers that are doing the same thing. Well, here the parody sites are coming. That's the easy part for these people. And if they don't believe that that's a truth, look at through even YouTube history. They start, they kind of pop off, and then they kind of nanny boo boo some real people that are, and then they keep them down, like don't let them comment or don't let them come on their show or whatever. And then they piss them off, and then they start parody sites, meaning they'll just steal their content and then out them for everything they do. And of course, everybody has people around them that you think they're their friends that'll snitch you out. So these people that think that nobody knows who you are, it's coming. And I'm not promoting. I'm just warning. This is a fucking warning. If you're too dumb to realize that I don't have any sympathy for you, especially if you're monetizing the fucking murder of people, that ain't gonna be me. And I'm not saying that's not all. I really respect some true crime people. Don't get me wrong. There's still a handful of it's just most of them are just low-life scumbags. And it goes back to my mysterious tale in the beginning of like why the Zodiac wasn't solved. They're lazy, they're idiots, they've been promoted because they're in secret groups or they're nepotist favorites, whatever. They're on the down low, this, that, and the other. Why we don't know about John Titor. Because you would think that even the government would look into something like that. Because that that's what they're doing right now is trying to do time travel. That's what CERN and all that stuff's about. You would think that they would hey, because that's what you do. You got to go through. Oh, that's some bullshit. Figure it out that it's bullshit and then move on. Oh, no. That's why it's kind of sticks in the back of my mind that, and especially John Titor was a little off, but he was right. He predicted a lot of this stuff. So maybe he was just a soothsayer. I don't know. The time travel thing, the apparatus looks kind of fishy, but maybe not. I mean, I don't know. Strange Mysterious World. Comment below. What do you think? Are you too done with these YouTube channels? Are you like me? Just like enough's enough, man. Quit misery coattail riding off murder. Quit, even if it's not true crime, even if it's music, even if it's ballerina, I don't know. There's a YouTube channel for everything. It's just a wash with the same types of people. And people eat it up. Yesterday I had my video, sad fact, IQ bell curve. Well, that's what we're dealing with. They're threatened. They don't want the smartest. They don't want Another mysterious tale is, why have all these scientists ended up murdered, disappearing over the last like 15 years? Like, watch Missing 411. People that like go missing in the woods. A lot of them are like top level. Let's go for a hike in the, state park and gone. Mysterious deaths, the mysterious burnings of our factories that make food, processed food. I mean, they're burning down so many factories that process food in America. I'm talking about. You're not going to hear about this. It's sad. So what you do is you make people, their mind is numb with these below average YouTubers. See, they know that YouTube now has like agents and producers. I don't know if you guys know this. You can pay to be monetized. You can pay to have fake views and all this shit. There's videos that claim that they had 1,000 or 80,000 views. I'll have more comments than they do. It's fake. When I was on MySpace back in the day, I knew people really well that's what they did. They knew how to fake the MySpace and make all these followers, that and the other, so people could sell their whatever. I had a friend that's what he did. Some things don't ever change. Comment below. What do you think? Are you tired of the idiocy YouTube shit? What do you think about the Zodiac killer? Was it because of incompetence and laziness? What about John Tudor? Do you think he was a time traveler? Are you sick and disgusted by the YouTubers that do the Delphi? Most of it went through like multiple suspects and they change and this and that. And well, the parody sites are starting, and the whatever it is gonna, hey. But yeah, I do this every day. I rant like a madman. And speaking of rant like a madman, my book, Charlie Greer, Rant Like a Madman, a Rant of the Madman. You can go to Amazon and see. The strange thing is, I've been ranting like this for a long time, decades. My book came out in 2003. People thought I was crazy. Okay. I lost friends. All right. Girlfriends, friends, associates, whatever the hell you want to call it. Now, the shit that I was talking about in my book in 2003 is like mainstream. Everybody talks about it. Even the dumbass media. It's gonna get worse, people. Yeah. But look, I love y'all. Oh yeah, and please like, share, and subscribe if you want to support this shit show. And you do. You need truth. You need truthful dudes like me. You need old haggard motherfuckers that. But if you do want to support, the information is in the description for Cash App and for Zelle. They're both apps. Figure it out. Boom. Simple and easy. But I love y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. Daily dose of ranting. I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.